Yeah, I really don't want Jeb to die. How are we doing here? We got a long way to go to get back, but we are going the right way at least. It's gonna take a while. I don't want to go too much faster than this though, because the thing starts to get really unstable. But yeah, okay, I'll turn off the engines for a bit, and we'll see how we do in terms of keeping our altitude up. Actually kind of flies. Yeah, like it does fly without the engines on, so that's nice. Still going up. Man, this is really peaceful with the engines off, you know, it's all nice and quiet. Just flying pleasantly through the air. I think I was going too fast. This is working a lot better down at, you know, 150 odd meters a second, which is... Yeah, we're kind of starting to... Where's the little far window? I mean, it still says we're flying well. This seems to fly more stably when it's going slower, actually, which is not gonna work for getting this thing into orbit. I think we need to add more wings. At this point, keeping this thing going... This little flight status thing will tell me when, you know, FAR thinks I'm starting to stall. But it's getting hard to keep this thing flying level. Yeah, I mean, these are still 0. I'm actually maintaining this speed. Just cruising at around 112 meters a second. We're going down now, of course, obviously, but... Okay. Yeah. There we go. So it stalls at around 110 meters a second. According to the FAR little panel there. There we go. A little bit more towards the north. Okay. Jeez. Why did I listen to you when you said I should do all 3 of the things? It's gonna take me a long time to fly back. So far back to the Space Center. I'm gonna run out of wine before I get back, and that's the real tragedy. That's just not good enough. Yeah, I definitely don't want to be hitting the runway twice. That would be bad. That would be very, very bad. So we're, like, right now, like, this is great. It's not wobbling. It's just going. I'm gaining altitude at about 7 meters. Like, this is good, right? This looks like a plane which is flying through the air and not about to rip itself asunder. Losing speed, so I need to push the throttle a little bit higher to keep this going. See, this is good. This is working. We're getting kind of high now. But I mean, we're still not having any problems getting thrust from these basic jet engines. Maybe I've been flying. Maybe I'm just. This is like, I don't know. See, as soon as I try and adjust just a little bit, the nose just wants to pitch into the sea. Because I don't want to get too much higher, so I want to try and get that prograde marker more or less on the horizon. Come on. Behave, you bastard! Come on, just a little bit higher. Right now, just keep... No, just stay there! Fuck! I just want it to be level. Well, I mean, I can have it so that my actual heading is right on the horizon, but you'll notice that when my heading is on the horizon, the plane is dropping. Like, the thing just doesn't have enough lift, is the real issue here. I mean, the whole way, the prograde marker is just, like, way below my actual heading. I gotta go more north. But hey, I mean, this thing, you know, this does definitely fly better than any previous attempt I've made at any kind of aircraft in KSP, so I think I'm definitely learning. Wait, what does Alt plus W or S do? To trim some kind of something? What can I trim? Easy there, plane. Let's not flip out and die, okay? I don't want to flip out and die. I would like to keep the thing. I've actually gone west of it. I see. Let's turn the SAS back on for a second here. I was trying to... okay, that doesn't quite work if I don't have the SAS turned off, but I'm not ready for that. Okay. Yeah, so there's the Space Center over there on the coast. I'm trying to get this throttle trimming, this rather trimming thing working so that it's working for me. I think that's gonna be good. I want to go. Okay, so that's near the Space Center. That's. What are those flags at? Let's actually just go straight north at this point, so that no, not straight north. Yeah, let's just go straight north at this point, so that. I don't know. I want to be far enough away so that because this thing has a terrible turning circle. I want to be able to come with the runway, you know, straight on, obviously, so I can actually land. So I'll try and come out a little bit further over here around the mountains, and then I'll start turning so I can come around and hit the runway at the correct angle. Wait, unless I've completely tarred it out. And the Space Center is actually over there. No. Those flags, the only flags I planted were on the Space Center side of the mountain range. The Space Center's over there. Let's not have brain tumors now. Nobody likes having brain tumors. We're finally starting to get close. We're gonna have plenty of money once we land, which is good. I'm not gonna have to do any more of those like silly little contracts I don't want to do in order to get enough funds to want. We should have a lot of science as well. Oh wait, no, I took off the unpaid research program. Not the. I took off outsourced R&D because it was too overpowered. I was gonna get through the tech tree faster than I actually even want to. Start turning a little bit. I'm not 100% clear on. We may as well start flying a bit more slowly now, though, anyway, and a little bit lower. Like, I can drop my speed to around 150 meters a second. And that won't stall the plane. And then I shouldn't have a problem with coming in too fast. Thank you, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm just gonna call you player. Because I'm not gonna try to L36 it. I mean, anyway, I'm just going to ignore that. Oh, wait. Legit. Holy shit. Trust me, I'm from the internet. I know how to read numbers as letters, guys. It's fine. It's fine. It says legit, okay? I can read numbers. Don't worry. It's fine. Alright. Want to go a bit inland, and then, If we can land this thing without killing Bill and Jib, this will be easily the best mission I've ever flown in any kind of aircraft type of thing in KSP. So that'll be pleasant. It's a nice looking plane. It's too bad it doesn't work better, but it does look nice. Nobody can deny that. So increase the throttle a bit. We don't want to go too much slower than this, or we'll start to stall. I'm gonna have to kind of do this by sight, because I'm turning too aggressively into the runway at the moment. I have so little experience here. I think the Space Center is going to show up somewhere kind of in this area. But I'm not too sure. Can you guys even see my... Yeah, you can see my mouse cursor on the stream, right? Yes, my preview window tells me you can anyway. Good. Somewhere in that area. I'm assuming is where I will see the Space Center. Once I'm closer. If I overshoot the runway a little, it's fine. I'll just end up in the ocean. That's not a problem. I got plenty of fuel to go back. In fact, I use such a tiny percentage of my fuel. I feel like I'm probably carrying a little bit more. Look at this. I got 1,220 in there. I got 148 here, and I've used. What are my totals at? Yeah, I've got like 3,000 extra liquid fuel. That's including what's in these, but that's not much. I've got way more fuel than I need. That's probably not helping me. Alright, this is looking okay. I want to go a little bit more straight north so I don't come at the runway at the wrong angle. Once I get past, like, I should be able to see the Space Center pretty soon. I'm pretty close. I know it's right over there somewhere. Once I can see the Space Center, there will be a lot less guesswork involved in this landing, and I'm sure everything will be fine. I just need to make sure I remember to lower the gears. That would be bad if I were to forget that. And I don't know how aggressively I'm going to be able to brake with this thing. It should be, because I don't want it to pitch forward, but that's not too close to the nose. It shouldn't do that. I should be able to brake without breaking my plane. The Space Center's got to be right over there somewhere. I think I'm coming in at a pretty good angle now. I mean, I'm going to need to turn more to my right before I actually land, but I think that the turn I'm going to have to make to land on the runway is not going to be particularly sharp, which is good because this thing has the turning circle of, like, something that has a really bad turning circle. Some kind of poor turning circle vehicle. You know the type. Like your mother. I don't know, guys. I just want to land my plane without killing Bill and Jib. If the rest of the plane rips apart and I don't get my money back, then, like, I can deal with that. I just don't want to see Bill and Jib. Wait, there it is. There's the Space Center. I can see it. Okay, let's start our turn because it takes so long for this thing to turn. To come down on the runway. I can see the Space Center now, so I know where I'm going. Speed's pretty low, so like I should be able to land okay and not, you know, bounce off the runway. I should be able to brake quickly enough. I'll use the RCS to help slow me down. It should be N to reverse thrust the RCS. Let's just check that. Yeah, so N will be to reverse thrust my RCS. I'll use that while I land as well. I've got plenty of monopropellant to do that. I'm so excited. I've never landed a plane in KSP before. I've never really even flown a plane in this game before. I'm pretty much a scrub when it comes to Kerbal Space Program. I mean, I've got about 100 hours played, but most of that was playing stock, and I never really got around to doing the space plane. Wait, I can see the runway now. This is I'm gonna come in pretty straight, I think. I'm not gonna crash, Lars. Everything's gonna be fine. I should be able to come in very straight onto the runway, so that'll help my odds of not dying. It's probably hard for you guys to see on the stream, because I know the stream's not the best quality, but I can see the runway myself pretty clearly now. Alright, I want to get that prograde marker onto the runway. Onto the end of the runway. I'm coming in quite straight. I'm a little bit... I'm not 100% straight, but it's pretty close. I need to yaw myself a little bit more to the left. And I should be able to land. Keep the nose up enough so that prograde marker is... Come on, I gotta turn back to the... I overturned a little bit. Come on. Get over there, prograde marker. Get on the runway. Let's get a bit more aggressive with our yaw. Let's turn on the RCS to help us steer as we come in. Alright. We are freaking low. I don't know if that's good or bad. It is what it is. I just want to make sure I don't hit the ground before the runway. Let's get that gear out. Yeah, turn the light on. Oh, yep, there we go. Wow, my altitude's low. Holy shit. It'll be better once I'm not over these hills. Okay, let's lower the throttle. Kill the throttle. Get that prograde marker on the runway. On the runway! Come on, make it there. Make it there. Alright, we're slowing ourselves down with the nose. Flare. Flare. Okay, no, land on, get on the runway. Get on the runway. Brakes. Oh! Oh no! No! Jump! Damn, it's so close. Ah, it was all going so well. Shit, if I'd just been a little bit more straight onto the runway. Ah, something survived. What's left? Well, we can recover this. We can recover the cargo bay. Bugger. Ah, no. How could this happen to Jeb? Oh, no, they're not coming back. At least I got, you know, plenty of cash now. Ah, it was a beautiful explosion. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to, I'm gonna go get a little bit more wine, and then we're gonna make some adjustments to our space plane. I'm gonna take another shot at this whole thing. But, oh, I'm gonna look for that spider, too. Well, I got a minute. So actually, let's keep the webcam on for a second while I look around for this spider. The legacy of the spider continues. Pull out my pants. What has he got? I can actually just slide this piece of furniture out from the wall. That'd give me a better idea. I just don't want to die today. You know, I mean, if I die eventually, that's pretty much a given, but... I think it's gone, if it was even there at all. A while ago, I had a huntsman spider. Huntsmans are big. They're like this big. you know, with their legs, obviously. Even bigger sometimes with their legs. They're fucking huge. And I had one of them have babies in my bedroom. I turned on the light and there were just hundreds of spiders, all like tiny baby spiders, all over the walls. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Anyway. I committed genocide, and then that dealt with the problem. Well, I just completely shoved my head back where I saw the spider at, and he doesn't seem to be there, so I guess he's gone. I'm gonna go refill my wine, then I'll be right back. Don't go away unless you want to, in which case, I don't know. I guess do whatever you want, man. I'm not bossy yet. I'm gonna turn my aircon. For the moment. Okay. I think this is probably going to be enough wine to get me through the rest of the stream. I was just going to get a glass, which I did. But then I thought, why don't I also get a whole bottle and bring that back so that when my glass is empty, I won't have to go far. It'll be just like my Metro 2033 playthrough and my playthrough of System Shock 2, both of which, for some reason, I don't remember very well. But I remember drinking a lot of wine during them. That's about it, really. Anyway, let's fix up that space plane. We want to be able to use that thing to launch satellites. Right now, suffice to say, it's not working perfectly up to spec. It's not the worst thing I've ever made, but it could be. I can think of ways where its design might be lacking, shall we say. Let's unlock this, oh, I don't have enough signs to unlock anything. Well, that'll teach me to look at things I can't even get. So, I did drink a lot during the Evil Within, too. I drink a lot. I think I maybe drink too much, but I'm a university student, you know, it just comes with the territory. Okay, so, biplane it, that's an option, I could, okay, what if, okay, so, if I want to make it a biplane, what I'm going to do is mount these wings much lower. Like we want this kind of almost underneath here even. Right, and then turn this. We're going to need to move those landing gear, obviously, but let's just delete these for now. Remind me to put landing gear back on this before I try to take off somebody. Please. Cargo bay door is going to clip really hard, but that's okay. I'm kind of thinking I should not have so much fuel. In fact, I would go so far as to say that, I mean, I used a tiny portion of the fuel in here even last time. I'd go so far as to say that I should just make this bicoupler fuselage just empty, because I don't need it. This delta V thing I think is kind of misleading when it comes to airplanes. You get a lot more because you have lift and stuff helping you ostensibly. I mean, you can get a lot more out of it. I didn't even get close to finishing off this front fuel tank last time. The cargo base, that should be plenty of fuel still. That's going to have moved. Center of mass. Now, if I'm going to make this thing into a biplane, what do I have for struts? The only struts I have are these modular girder segments. Well, for girders. I don't have the like actual pylons, so I'll have to use these. That's okay though. Suppose I put these like here. That sounds pretty cool. Now, I need wings. I need more wings. Right, where are those wings I was using? Oh, and these elevons, I'm not liking this. The fact that these are clipping through. But I can't do anything about it. That's just how they attach, and these wings don't come with flaps. Maybe I should just only use these Elevon 3s, even though like they're kind of angled so that it seems like you shouldn't do it this way. Maybe I only need you know, I may have enough control authority just with that. I know it doesn't look like much, but it might even help keep the thing a bit more stable if I didn't have as much control. Put the second wing on top of the air intakes. That's a really good idea. That's smart. You're smart, Lars. That's a good idea. Let's do it that way. Obviously, we're gonna need some struts, obviously, but hey! Yeah, the center of lift's more or less, we need a bit further back, but whoa, easy there, killer. Let's not freak the fuck out here. I've lost control of my facing. Okay, easy there. Let's just get the facing of these things correct. Okay. Holy crap, I can't figure it out. It's too hard for me. Okay, here we go, here we go. Bam! That's looking good, actually. Now we're gonna need some struts. Because holy shit, that doesn't look stable. Let's have some struts there. Let's connect these to the body of the plane by struts. That didn't work right. Let's connect these to the body of the plane via struts. Because this thing was so unstable, let's also connect... Let's also just do like this. Connect this up to the body via struts. Let's just have fucking struts everywhere. How about that? I know it's a pretty standard Kerbal space program build procedure to just have like more struts than is even reasonable. So let's just have a shitload of struts and see if we can keep these fucking wings in place. I think that's almost enough struts. Okay. Now this is not going to move anymore. I feel that I should add some... Do I have anything else I can use other than these elevons to make my little flaps? I don't really think so. But maybe if I put some up here as well. Keep these near the body so that maybe the thing won't fuck up so hard. These do not have yaw control. Okay. Can the cargo bay, like, open? It equips a little bit, but that's not so bad. Now, we need some landing gear. I'm thinking I should use the slightly heavier landing gear that I have available to me, rather than those landing gear. Let's go ahead and use these heavy-duty landing gears. What angle snap, please? This has two variants, apparently. What's the difference between... Doesn't seem to change anything, it's just appearance. I like the black one. Okay. And we're gonna need... set of landing gears on the back here. That should be good. This is clearly going to work much better. Obviously. You know what, let's go all out, and I wanted to add a couple little things just to give the front some more lift, and our center of lift is kind of far back there, so let's add a couple winglets up here. Keep our center of lift in roughly the right place, of course. Could be a little bit lower, so let's angle these down just a tad. Ah, man, it looks like an upset fish. I may have problems with my mind, but that's what it looks like to me. We don't want those to have... We may not want these to have any control. I've had bad experiences with these winglets and FAR and them kind of flipping everything out. Alright. One second, folks. No. Alright, this should work. Now, I want to test it with the payload, because I want to make sure that it can carry the payload, obviously. This really doesn't... Let's deactivate these. I've had bad... As I said, I've had bad experiences with those with FAR. What happens if I make the flap active? I think I can make them... I think if I have the flap active, I can configure them to give me more or less lift. This doesn't look... This doesn't look good. Yeah, me too. Me too, Ragin. I have not had much luck with planes. I'm gonna give this a try. This biplane concept. I'm sure this is gonna just be the best. I'm absolute. Okay, so these flaps, yeah, these are going to. Let's just put on the brakes for a second here. So yeah, I can configure these flaps to give me a bit more lift. But that's, so yeah, that'll pitch the nose up the more deflection they have. I should have assigned that to a control group, probably. Our wings... Let's give this a shot here. Add parachutes to abort. Thank you, Lars. Thank you for reminding me about parachutes before I hit the button. I'm going to recover this space plane and not waste my money. The thing is almost at 50,000 though. 50,000 funds now. This is not a cheap aircraft. I don't want to lose it again. Let us put a fuckload of just. You know what? Okay, well let's put a parachute right here. Let's put some parachutes on the wings. We're gonna want another parachute towards the back so it comes down pretty much straight. Let's put a parachute there. That's probably not gonna be enough parachutes. This thing looks pretty heavy. Let's put a couple more parachutes on the wings. Okay. Let's do our action groups. Let's put these parachutes into abort. That's a very good idea. Deploy. Okay, so if I hit backspace, that'll save my life. And let's have action group 3. Brakes should include... I actually have air brakes on this thing. The elevons and the stabilators and these winglets all can be used as air brakes. That would have been nice to know before. Okay, control group 2 is the liquid fuel engines. Control group 3... increase flap deflection. Control group 4, decrease flap deflection. Hello, DJ Funky Fresh. Are you really funky and fresh? I choose to believe yes. Alright. Let's get Bob out of there for when this thing inevitably rips itself to pieces. I'm sure this is going to work flawlessly. This is going to be my first plane in Kerbal Space Program where the crew is not going to fucking die. I've seen enough death today, so I'm sure this. So let's just test out our control groups. All right, that's working great. I'm not going to test the abort. Okay. Alright. Okay. Everything's gonna be fine. This is gonna work. This is gonna work. I got my payload. There it is. A little communication satellite right there. We're gonna take it to space, guys. This is gonna happen. This time, things will be different. Let's fucking go. We're going to fly. This is going to work. I'm certain of it. This is gonna be the best. The greatest of planes. Now we should have pretty decent... We're getting a little bit there. We should have pretty decent lift from these flaps on the front here. In fact, let's go ahead and increase our deflection a little bit. Actually, that's gonna slow us down. Oh my god, it actually has some kind of lift. That's actually too much deflection. Too much lift. Too much lift. Stop it. Okay, let's try and get high. The plane, guys. Jeez. I do have quite a lot of parts mods, though. But yeah, the engines are all stock. These engines are stock, and these engines are also stock. Just a texture replacement. Oh, let's bring the gear up here. Alright. This is flying much more... I'm amazed this is, you know, working in the slightest. We need a little bit more deflection on these. We're not getting quite as much lift on the front as I'd like. This is actually functional. I'm not even ripping apart. What is this? I don't care if you want to smoke the weeds, Ragin. I'm just drinking the wines personally. Alright, we're going to space. I don't even give a shit. I haven't tested this thing above about, well, our current altitude of around 2,000 meters. I haven't even seen if this thing flies at high altitudes. I'm going to space. No, I'm sure the tail will be fine. It's fine. The rockets might hit it a little bit, but it'll be fine. Don't even worry about the tail. It's fine. We're going to space, damn it. Look at Jerbsy and Macdo, our heroes. They're not even remotely frightened. They're completely terrified. We're going to space. That's final. That's not exactly hoity-toity. I think this is like a $4 bottle of wine. Cheap wine is one of the most effective ways to get wasted. It was good to know. These lower wing... Okay, this is... We're not really gaining much more speed now. I guess we're getting a little bit too high. We need turbojets on this thing if we really want to take it to space. And by that I mean I'm going to space. You can't stop me. Nothing will stop me from going to space. This thing flies okay, though. It's not even threatening to rip apart in the atmosphere, as far as I can tell. Let's get nice and high. Well, we made it to the clouds. That's a lot better than the last plane managed to do. Also, this thing looks pretty cool. I mean, like, the biplane thing was a good idea. I do like how, like, these things, like, it's kind of like it has a really big frowny face. So it kind of reminds me of one of those, like, fish with, like, the whiskers. You know the ones I mean. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't act like you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, post a link to your bomber aircraft. I'm probably not going to show it on the stream, but you're welcome to post a link to it in chat, and other people can try it out for themselves. I'm probably not going to show it on stream just because I don't want to go through the effort of, you know, having to shut my game down and start it up to add the thing to the game. I'm almost above the... We're hitting 7,000 meters. We're gonna get to 10 Ks in this thing. At some point, these basic jet engines are gonna give up on me because I'll be way too high, and then I'm gonna have to hope that I'll be able to use my liquid fuel engines to get this thing into orbit. I'm taking this thing into space, damn it. Now is my time to go to space. We're still gaining speed and altitude, so, you know, so far we haven't fully fucked up. I probably do need to add jets to get this to space. These are the basic jet engines, and the other ones are the LV909s. Just the basic 50 thrust small rocket engines. They just look fancy because of my texture pack. It all looks fancy. I like how, yeah, I can't remember what it's called. It's called, like, van stock replacement or something. I don't know. Lars has the list of the mods I'm using, which he could paste in chat. But I'm not going to do it right now because I need to fly my plane into space. These basic jet engines are starting to kind of give up here around 10 Ks. I'm still gaining speed and altitude, though. Once I start not gaining speed and altitude anymore, I'll switch to the rockets. And I will go to space. I'm just going to get as much as I can out of these jet engines first. Alright. I think that's about the limit that I'm going to get from these basic jet engines in terms of speeding this thing up. Let's go to space! These can't accelerate me. These engines are not strong enough to accelerate me. Actually, my apoapse is going up. I'm losing speed, but that's okay. These things will burn down some of the fuel, and then we'll start to speed up again. We'll keep using our lift to keep raising our height. This is gonna go to space. So far, the tail is not overheating, so that's good. Note to self, replace these little engines with slightly stronger engines. These are not quite strong enough. Yeah, my orbital velocity is really low. But there you have it. It's not quite climbing. Wait, we got another... Yes, okay, we're starting to speed up now. We're also going down. That's not good. We don't want to go down. We want to go up. In fact, I should probably try and go up a bit more aggressively. There is no revert. I'm playing on hyper hard mode. Well, not hyper hard mode, but I have reverting turned off. As well as crew respawn. But, this thing needs stronger engines. This is not going to get to space. I don't have nuclear engines unlocked yet. Don't have the TAC. Okay. Well, we're not going to space. However... what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this thing around and I'm going to go home. back to Kerbal Space Center, and I'm going to save my money, and we're going to try again. I just got to be careful about not ripping it apart in the atmosphere as I try to turn. Here we go. Let's turn around. We don't need our engines to help us turn. We're just going to turn using the fact that we are a plane. I should try out the abort system. I'll try out the abort system once I'm over land, rather than trying to land on the runway, considering what happened last time I tried to land on the runway. Was not ideal. Let's get this a little bit more flat here. Actually, if I want to get over land, I should keep going the way I'm going. Turn back around! We're going the wrong way! Yeah, I'll just put this thing over the land and then use the abort system. Actually, you know what? Let's go down, guys. I want to see how fast I can go. No. I mean, I don't really... I have to know. This has now become an issue of speed. This thing is going to tear apart in the atmosphere and we're all going to die. Actually, if I can get my velocity up, even if I'm not that high... No, I'll tear apart in the atmosphere if I do that. I am going much, much faster now than I was before. Apparently we're under high dynamic pressure. I want to get us over the land, and I'm not going to try and turn this thing fully around. I'm just going to try and put it over land and then try the abort system. But using all the engines, that would go fairly quickly. I need heavier engines here and possibly more fuel, and these basic jet engines need to be replaced with turbojets. And then I'll probably need basic jet engines somewhere else. What I really need is 3 tiers of engines. I need basic jet engines to get me up into the sky, and then I need turbojets. Once I get to around 10,000 meters, I want to switch to turbojet engines. And then, once the turbojets give out, then I want to switch to rockets. I'm amazed this thing hasn't ripped apart in the atmosphere yet. I'm waiting for it. I'm completely ready for this thing to tear asunder at any moment. Let's angle the nose down. Like, I'm having a really hard time keeping it straight now. Much like in real life. Because the reason I wouldn't want to use turbojets to begin with is that they don't have very good thrust at sea level, and this thing's really heavy. So I could try doing a rocket-assisted takeoff and then switch to the turbojets after I've got good speed from the rockets. That might work. Then I would definitely need more fuel for the rockets. Maybe not, actually. These things have been burning for quite a long time now. I can't believe this thing's not tearing apart. I mean, we're going down. Got every engine firing. Whoop! We just lost something. Something just ripped off. I think it was... I'm not sure what just tore off, but I definitely saw something tearing off. Oh, it was my landing gear. I think. Alright, that's still there. How quaint. Well, it definitely flies better than the last plane. I'm shocked this thing is holding together. Look at those aerodynamic forces, though. Man, it does look cool. I'm not going quite fast enough for fire, but... Nice. I like this plane. I just need to figure out a way to actually get it into space, and then it'll actually be a space plane and not just a plane. Not that there's anything wrong with being, you know, a plane. Alright, let's kill our thrust. We're gonna slow down a little bit, and then... No, there's the front landing gear. There's the rear gears. I think we're okay for landing gears and everything. Wait until we slow down a little bit more, and then we'll try out our abort system. Well, no, I mean, let's... Yeah, and this would be able to glide really well. I mean, it's actually... we need to decrease the deflection on those front flaps. Yeah, even with no power, this thing could seriously glide for quite a ways, I think. Maybe not. Maybe not so much. Not sure. Let's test the abort system. These things... Yeah, so when I hold down the brakes, these elevons and stuff should brake, but they're not. I guess I have that stuff disabled. Anyway, hopefully these parachutes do a good job of, Well, the parachutes haven't fully deployed yet, Rajan. My wings may rip off in a second. We'll see what happens. I really should have put some of the parachutes on these wings. I think these top wings are gonna fly off. You're probably right. Although these struts are a lot stronger than the default struts. These are struts from, I think, the B9 Aerospace pack. I'm not sure which parts pack they're from. So they might hold the wings on. The main thing is just, you know, if this thing can land without exploding. Yeah. Alright, the wings are gonna be gone in about 1 second. Oh my goodness! It held together! Is it gonna be like... I want it to be fairly level. That's close enough. Let's get the landing gear out. Oh yeah, I want to kill the SAS to actually see how... So that's how this thing's gonna sit. Of course, I can push the nose down using my pitch controls. Let's use the RCS to help, because I want to land it flat so that nothing blows up. It's going quite slowly, 10.8 meters a second, so I mean those landing gear can easily take this. Nice! Let's just turn the brakes on. Well, the abort system works perfectly. So I'll use that. Instead of trying to land on the runway, I'll just use the parachutes when I come back to the planet. That works great. That's awesome. I'm amazed nobody's dead. So what we need to do now is just make some changes to this thing so that... so that I can actually go to space instead of just going, like, to 10,000 meters. I can just try... I mean, we'll see what happens if I just replace the basic jet engines with yeah, the cockpit was a bit too high, so we want this to... Let's put this more, like... Maybe, like, right here. I don't think I was going to be able to take off from there, Lars. Also, the delay on the stream is too late. I might have tried if I had seen the suggestion in time, but streamed away. Alright, so 2 things I need to do. These engines are too weak. I want the next size up. Not 50 thrust, but maybe... where are the KW Rocketry ones with 90 thrust? Let's use these. And let's try replacing these with... Which turbojet do I want to use? I can use the stock turbojet engine, or I can use this turbojet engine from something else. I'm going to try using the modded turbojet engines. They look nice. Stick on there, come on. You're not clipping it. Oh, you're clipping the tailplane. Okay, let's just move Okay. Just check that that didn't change our center of mass, center of lift too much. I want to move these back a little bit, actually. Or I can, I'll just move these back. That will be considerably easier. Hey, get... That's still a little bit too far forward, so I want to... Could you not flip out your orientation, please? Okay. This time we will go to space. This is going to go to space. I'm certain of it. We're ready for space now. Except the turbojet engines may not have enough thrust at sea level. So we may not... Oh, I should probably check my action groups before I try to take off, considering... Yeah, so we need that. Okay, flap deflection is still fine. Abort action group. We've lost. Should be 4 things. Yep. Okay. I'm going to space. Yes, I looked at where the center of lift was. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm going to space, damn it. I'm going to go to space. I'm going to launch the fucking satellite. And I'm going to drink wine while I do it. Do you need proof? Here's your proof. Oh. See? It's true. Okay, let's take off. We're going to space now. I'm going to space immediately. There will be no delay in going to space. Today is the day. I do not think these turbojets can accelerate me enough to lift off. Actually, maybe they can. That's not too bad. Wouldn't they be going about 100 meters a second by the time we get to the end of the runway where this thing's going to go into the fucking ocean? But that may actually happen. If it doesn't, then I'm going to turn on the rockets in a last-ditch effort to try and save Bob, who I've just realized is on board the aircraft. No, this should get enough thrust just from these turbojets to get us up into the sky. It's going to be a long takeoff, but that's okay. You know, it's fuel efficient this way. Alright. This is not going to just ditch off the end of the runway. Oh my god. I'm actually taking off. I didn't think that was going to happen. I mean, I know I talk big, but... I mean, I didn't honestly expect this thing to actually take off. That's shocking. Alright, let's go to space. Let's, I mean, since we're apparently going to space... No, I'm not gonna press space. There will be no pressing of space on this flight, Lars. I'm not going to be using the staging key for any reason. That is not necessary. Now, let's go to space. It's going to take us a while to get altitude, but I'm faithful that this thing is going... This is finally my day to have made a spaceplane that actually does what it's supposed to do. Which all it needs to do is deliver the little communication satellite that I've got in the cargo bay here into orbit. That's all it's got to do. It has one job. It can be a very low orbit. The communication satellite has a bunch of fuel to adjust its orbit to wherever exactly it needs to be. I actually think the wobble's not too bad. You should have seen the first thing I built. Now that had crazy wobble. This is, by comparison, extremely stable. off the SAS, maybe that'll help. Turn off the SAS and use let's turn the SAS back on now. Let's just keep the SAS turned on from this point forwards and go to space. It's gonna be fine. Maybe I need to increase the deflection on these flaps. I can, and I often do, Lars. In fact, lately I've been uploading every stream to YouTube in its entirety, just because, I don't know, if people want to see it, they can. I need to get a little bit higher, and then I think I'll get more thrust out of these turbojets. We're going quite slowly at the moment, but I think the deal is that once I get up to around 10,000 meters, these turbojets are going to start giving me a little bit more push. Yeah, I'm going to put this stream up on YouTube after, well, it'll go up tomorrow. I just export this stuff from Twitch, which is actually pretty easy for me to do. It means the quality is not as good as my other YouTube videos, because it's, you know, the stream quality, which is not amazing because my connection's so bad, rather than the usual quality I use for YouTube. But yeah, I'll put this up on YouTube after it's over. To answer your question, we're starting to get a bit more speed now because we're getting nice and high. Yeah, I might, maybe I'll fly your bomber and put it up in a video, Lars. I'm not going to do it tonight, but yeah, maybe I'll check that out later. I will bookmark the thing. Be nice to Lars. He's been a viewer on the stream for a long time, so I'm not too mad. Now that we're starting to get high, we're definitely starting to get more thrust out of these turbojets. I'm going to space, okay? There's not going to be any more of this I didn't quite make it to space garbage. I'm going to space. I don't even care anymore. If I don't go to space, I'm crashing this thing into the ground and killing Bob. I'm going to space, damn it. Also, rest in peace, Bob. You're already dead. Oh, he's there. I'm trying to pour wine while controlling my plane at the same time. I wonder if real pilots ever have this trouble. Not easy to fly a plane while trying to pour liquor. My hair steals everyone's thunder. That's how it works. Let's decrease the deflection on these flaps. This thing really is wanting to pitch up. More than I wanted to. It's nice having these things actually functioning as flaps. It's kind of cool. Maybe I should set the elevons up like that, although then I'd only be using the cockpit torque to actually steer the thing, which is probably on reflection not a great idea. I'm trying to get this thing it's not working for me. I can't figure it out. I'm too dumb. It's too hard. I'm just gonna go to space the old-fashioned way. At least there's no shortage of fuel. I'm still accelerating as I get higher, so I think I'm still not quite in the sort of optimal area for these turbojets. It flies pretty nicely, like there's wobble, but I have a really hard time keeping the pitch where I want it to be, but you know, it works. Let's actually get more deflection from these flaps. What if I just stop trying to touch the pitch? What if I just let it do what the fuck it wants to do? I'm just gonna leave this for a while. Take a hands-off approach to piloting. See if we can get to space that way. We're going a lot faster than I managed to get going with the jet engines on the other craft. Yeah, having your plane rip apart when you touch the controls is a pretty big design flaw. You're right. You're right about that. The SAS and the flaps are fighting each other. That makes a lot of sense. See, but if I turn off the SAS, then I have to fight the flaps. Okay, what if I turn off the SAS and reduce the deflection on these flaps to something more manageable? Then I just try, let's put on minor precise controls. Get this thing, get the trim centered again. Okay, so I've centered the trim. So with the trim centered, the thing tries to fly into the planet. The nose tends to pitch down, so the flap, but if I increase the deflection on the flaps, the nose will pitch up more. Maybe I can balance it that way. Now that I'm nice and high, and I've got the board system, so okay, so with the flaps set like this and no SAS, it's trying to turn a little bit, but the nose pulls up a little. So if I just trim down just a little bit, I don't know why it's trying to roll to the left, to the right. That's kind of weird. However, this is... Oh, I accidentally put a little bit of trim onto the roll. Is there a button to reset the trim? Out of curiosity. There we go. Yeah, gaining altitude, accelerating, not wobbling like crazy. That's a good look for an aircraft. There you go. That's how I need this thing set up. So I've got the trim pushing down a little bit, the flaps pushing me up. And looking good. Alt plus X worked. Thank you. Thank you very much, MC2599 and also Raging Jong. Okay. I keep hitting the wrong buttons when I'm trying to do the trim, because I'm also trying to keep the thing. So I got this flying nicely now, with the flaps at a particular setting and the trim at a particular setting. It behaves, which is wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. I'm still not sure we're going to make it to space, but it is still accelerating. So we may actually get to space yet, which would be nice because, you know, I said I was going to ditch this thing into the planet if it didn't go to space. And, I'm going to have to stick with that. But we're actually accelerating quite well. Yeah, that's not too bad. What's our orbital velocity? 752 meters a second, so we're getting there. Now, if I turn on the SAS, it still starts to wobble, because you were right, the elevons here try to fight with the flaps when I turn on the SAS, so I think I gotta fly without SAS, but that's fine. Like, if it's stable, flying without SAS is not a problem. And this is going really well. We're getting fast, and we're getting high, and what else could you possibly want in life? I'm going to space. We're going to get as fast and as high as we can on these turbojets. Actually, we're starting to get a little bit too fast for how low we are in the atmosphere based on the... I'm going to need to slow down a little bit, actually. Because we don't want the plane to burst into flames when everything's going so well. As you can see, we're starting to see some heat effects here. Yeah, let's just cut back on the throttle a bit. Until we get a tad higher. Once the atmosphere is thinner, I can go faster, obviously, without getting that happening. Still not looking too bad. We just want to be careful about that. Starting to dip now. Let's increase our flaps. Pull the nose up. Okay, we can speed up again now. Get those flaps back down. Means I have to adjust my trim again, but I'll get this right. It's gonna be fine, guys. This thing's kind of tricky to fly. It was a lot easier when I was just flying rockets. Definitely. But this will be cheaper. But I mean, if every launch is going to take this long, at a certain point you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? I'm not sure. So, like, I think I still need to change up this design, is all I'm saying, so that launches don't take quite this long. I mean, I've got to be, like, halfway around the planet at this point. Also, we're losing altitude, which is not good. Let's pull up. Let's actually set the flaps up. It's getting hard now that we're super high. We're going really fast, though, which is good. You know, if I can get my velocity up nice and high, then I can get into orbit that much easier. And I won't have to use too much fuel from these liquid fuel things. I mean, that's the whole point here, right? Is to get pretty fast and pretty high, and then when we switch to liquid fuel, we don't need that, like, just, well, the liquid fuel will oxidize and mix with the rockets. We don't need that much. It's getting hard to fly, though. Yeah, I could strap this entire contraption to the side of a rocket and launch like the space shuttle does, you know, start with just a vertical launch. Okay, we're losing stability really bad here. I'm going to use the SAS and my RCS to help. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why is this engine stopping? Okay, let's just get control of this thing for a second here. Am I too high to use these turbojets? I don't think that's it. They're both firing up again now. Why is this engine failing? Maybe I'm actually too high. Well, let's try the, or I'm not getting enough intake air. Oh, I'm not getting enough intake air at these altitudes. That's the problem here. We've gone beyond what my intakes can support. That's okay. We're going pretty fucking fast. I think it's time for liquid fuel. Turn these flaps down a little bit. These engines are accelerating us nicely, unlike the old ones. We're pretty much above where the atmosphere is going to be fucking with me, so... This more like a spaceship now. Whoa! 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 No shit, large scale stall. Ah. Let's just hope my SAS comes through for me here and is able to stabilize this eventually. I think I tried to pitch too aggressively there. Alright. We gotta try and... I'm gonna help out the SAS a little. Let's turn on the RCS, actually. We're high enough in the atmosphere, that might help. Oh, shit. We should set the flaps to no deflection, and then... Okay. Alright, it's fine. Everything's fine, guys. I'm still going to space. We've just had a minor problem. There's been a slight... we've had a little bit of a mishap. But we're still going to space. I guarantee you that we're still going to space. We don't even need, our air intake should be working plenty good now. I'm still going to space, damn it. This thing is getting into space one way or another. It may not make it to a stable orbit, but we're getting to space at the very least. I'm going to space. Nothing will prevent me from reaching space. It's not over. You may think it's over, but it's not over yet. Let's pitch up as aggressively as we can without stalling these engines. Because that would allow me to take off a lot faster. I mean, obviously I've already taken off a while ago at this point, but... Holy shit, can this thing really fly at this angle without stalling? I should have been doing this much sooner. That's gonna stall now. No, we're out of, Okay. Okay. Flaps, no. Stop, stop, stop. RCS, RCS, give me the RCS. Bring her back, bring her back. Alright. We gotta get these flaps pointing just straight. I'm still learning, guys. Okay. Okay. I'm going into space. You cannot stop me! Guys, I'm gonna make it. easy. Let's just get this thing pointed in the right direction. It's no problem. It's fine. It's completely fine. This thing's fine. It's working great. Now, we're currently falling, but what matters is that I'm falling rather slowly, and I'm moving laterally quite quickly, and that's what orbiting is all about, really, is you're moving laterally, you know, fast enough that you don't hit the planet as a result of the falling, which you're also doing. And if I can just get my speed, if I've got enough delta V to just get my speed up to orbital velocity, then we will still be able to go to space. I'm starting to think that's not going to happen. I'm beginning to suspect I may not actually go to space. Fire every engine at once! Still going to space, damn it. I'm actually starting to get kind of close to an orbital velocity. I'm going frickin' fast, way too fast for how low I am in the atmosphere. But I'm going quite rapidly. We've come a long way from the Kerbal Space Center, so I mean the flight's been successful in that sense. No, there's not enough fuel in these things to make it to space. Well, I said I'd do it. It's time. Every engine and point at the ground. Goodbye, Bob and Jersey. It's been nice knowing you. Oh, geez. It's too bad none of the parachutes were attached to the cockpit anymore. Because somebody said I should move it backwards. They almost made it to space, guys. It was close, you know. Wait, I can still glide this thing. It's fine. I've got Ferram Aerospace. I can glide this. I just gotta get pointed in the right direction, and then I can glide this, and I can flare and slow it down, and I can not hit the ground. I mean, it's got wings and flaps and everything. I can totally... We got 12,000 meters to work with here. Alright, we're facing almost the right direction. Whoa, easy there, get the spin under control. Okay. Now, it's fine, we're just gonna glide this thing down to the planet safely. This is totally going to work. You guys wouldn't believe how well this is going to work. We are slowing down. No, no, it's slowing down. It's not falling like a rock. It's fine. We're down to 100 meters a second. This is gonna work. We're gonna land this thing. Do I have any lights on this? No. Alright. Now, we want to get a little bit more lift out of it. We don't want to be falling so much straight towards the ground. We want to bring our prograde marker up. I mean, these wings are pretty big, right? Compared to... Let's deflect more. Why am I not deflecting more? So that'll give us a bit more lift. That's going to help us slow down. Come on. Come on. Come on. We're not going to crash into the ocean at fatal speed. We're going to crash into the ocean at the speed which is survivable for Bob. That is... You're probably right. As fast as a rock can fall unpowered. No, we get lift out of these things. This is gonna be fine. This is gonna slow us right down. We're gonna hit the ocean at a speed where we don't explode. Too much deflection. What's the button to reduce my deflection? Here we go. Alright. Messing with the flaps. Oh, maybe not enough. These are now... The center of mass is behind these things. Maybe we want as much deflection as we can get. We have sped up, which is not good. We are flipping out of control. The ocean is 300 meters away. The craft is dead. We have died. We've been slain. We are deceased. Our lives have come to an end. The final chapter in the book of our existence has been written. We are dead. Let's return to the Space Center, shall we? So, I think we learned a lot today. We discovered a lot of strengths to our spaceplane design, and we discovered some flaws in our spaceplane design. Strengths, it flew for quite a long time. Flaws, ultimately the entire crew died by falling into the ocean. Let's see if we can do anything about that. I'm not... It may be 12:48 a.m. here. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, but I'm not ready to give up on this yet. I think there's hope for this design. It just needs a certain... It just needs... Well, if we had bigger air intakes, we wouldn't have flamed out. We were gonna flame out around there anyway, though. That's not really going to help. If we, what if... I think I need to start again. No, I don't know. We're still carrying way more liquid fuel than we need. We didn't even come close to... Like, we flew for a long time. So, like, this does not need to have fuel in it. This, I mean, we didn't even use close to half. Like, this could have half as much fuel. That's going to reduce our weight a lot, which is going to make these thrusters do a lot more for us. That's going to help. These winglets, no. So... I want these elevons to have the flaps active. I want all these elevons to be able to be used as flaps. I want to add torque to the rear of the craft so I have better control authority. So I'm going to add... This is an SAS reaction wheel block here. I'm going to add that to the craft. Okay. Okay, we got our flaps. What else does this thing need? I mean, getting rid of all that fuel is gonna help us get to orbit. Outlook is actually pretty dire for the amount of Delta V we have. Maybe I should add more fuel for these rocket boosters. I'm just trying to figure out what I need to do to get this thing, you know, flying properly into space. I'm thinking this biplane design is a fucking stupid idea. Actually, with the let's not make a biplane, okay? That it was fun and all, but let's not do that. Keep those struts there for stability, of course, though. And obviously we're gonna need parachutes so that we have an abort switch. Hello, Bismarck. I'm trying to learn how to make spaceplanes in Kerbal Space Program, and it is not going well. If you're just tuning into the stream and wondering what is happening, anybody. Yeah, it's all not going super the best. Those parachutes are inside the, oh, okay. I want that. Give me the game. I want the parachute. Game. I want the, give me, I want to pick up the parachute. I fucked up. I'm thinking if I use those elevons on the wings as flaps, I will have enough lift. I didn't have enough lift originally, but I think if I have those flaps on the wings, that will give me enough lift to make it up there. So let's shove those back on. Let's shove those back on. They're facing the wrong way. There we go. So these are not yaw control, but they are flaps. Now, let's put the parachutes back on there so that I have an abort system. I can't get these parachutes. Maybe if I just put them here. I do want some near the ends as well, so hopefully it doesn't rip apart. See, here's the thing, it just clips inside the wing. Which is not, I don't know why this wasn't happening when I was using the upper wings, like it was fine. And now it's just clipping inside the wing. Completely inside the wing. Do you think it'll still deploy? How about, yeah, what if I just do this? This is a really bad idea, but what if I just put them like that? Man, that's awful. That's... no, it's only one of them. That's such a bad idea, I can hardly believe it. I'm gonna do it. Okay, now that we're carrying less fuel, where's the center of the lift? Okay, that's fine. This is gonna work. This is gonna... now... oh, I don't have enough money to launch this. Do not have enough money to launch that. Let's, well, let's get out of the spaceplane hangar for now, then. I guess I'm gonna have to do one of these contracts without using modal spaceplane. Let's just go ahead and send one of these other communication satellites up. We've already got the model for it, and that'll give me some more money so I can keep fucking around with the spaceplane. Which is what I really want to do. I'm having fun messing with the spaceplane. Which one of these do we want to do? Equatorial orbit over Kerbin. No, what do I have active? Polar orbit or specific. This one's gonna be easy to reach. So we're doing the orbit for Zoutonic Electronics, so we'll use that as our mission flag. That's why I was checking. I like to use the mission flag for the person who sponsored the mission, just because I'm all about that immersion. Hell, it'll be nice to fly a mission that just goes, you know, to plan after all this time spent messing around with the Spaceplanes. Probably not as hilarious, but it'll be nice for me to, you know, a nice change of pace. Because I know this rocket works. So unless we have more problems with pilot error, this should be fine. Man, it's nice to just fly something into space, into the sky, so far anyway, without having extreme problems in my life, I guess is how I'd put it. Still having some issues with wobbling. Whoa, going too fast. Going too fast. This thing's gonna tear apart if we don't slow down. I forgot about that. This design is not exactly perfect. It has too much thrust for its mass, considering I'm using FAR, so it has a tendency to become unstable at low altitudes when I'm trying to do my gravity turn. But once we get through, you know, as long as I cut the thrust a little bit, and once we get a little bit higher, this will even out nicely, and then we won't have any terrible accidents. Wait until we get a little bit higher before I push the thrust back up. We're going to a very high orbit anyway, so the fact that my gravity turns pretty late doesn't really matter. That's fine. I think the orbit we're aiming for is about 5 million meters, 5,000 kilometers or so, which this craft should have plenty of fuel to achieve. I'm actually not 100% sure about that, but let's just put it into a... Jeez, that's terrible, actually. That's awful. Let's try and fix this up a little bit. Doesn't have any RCS, because I hadn't researched RCS yet when I initially designed this thing. So turning is going to be slow, but let's just try and make this orbit a little bit more... once we're in space, obviously, I don't want to be trying to thrust in a completely different direction when we have atmospheric pressure to contend with, so once we're above 70K, I'm just going to thrust towards the horizon and try and flatten this out a little bit. Okay. Deploy this and point it at mission control. And this will be our little satellite. We gotta put this in a stable orbit before we run out of line of sight of mission control, or we're going to lose control of it and it'll just be, you know, space debris. So let's figure out a maneuver for that. Well, actually, let's try and let's try and just from here just push our right up to the appropriate height. So we are aiming for this orbit here, 5,030,000. Okay. And it'll be nice to have another communication satellite up there so that, you know, we have more communications coverage. Alright. Wow! This is gonna cost a lot of Delta V because we're at such a bad angle. Thankfully, this little thing may not look like much, but it has over 3,000 kilometers per second Delta V, so the fact that this burn is taking 2,000, you know, we'll still have 1,000 left over to fix up the orbit, which should be enough. This should be able to complete its mission. Let's get these solar panels out here so we don't have to deal with running out of batteries. How long am I going to have line of sight on mission control for? Quite a while, so that's good. We'll have time to complete this burn. That was pretty bad insertion into orbit, but, you know, whatever, shit happens, and I should have enough Delta V to make this craft do what it has to. burn seems to have taken less than predicted, so that's good. I'll have plenty left to put this thing in the orbit I need to in order to get paid, so I can work on my spaceplane more. Let's get this right. That's very close, so we're aiming for 5,030. We're at 5,029.5, so that's good. The apoapse is at the right height. Now the other apsis is 5,154. So when we get up here, we will want to accelerate. $54 or $45? $54. Alright, that'll be quite close to the correct orbit, and we'll still have about 1,000 meters a second left. Good! Of course, we're probably not going to have a connection to mission control by the time we get up there. But we might be able to contact our other communications satellite. So let's, shit, I should have put more batteries on this thing. I forgot the other one was having issues with that, so... But we'll point this at... I need to switch control to ComSat. So if I should be able to do a relay kind of thing here where I won't actually lose control of that vessel at any point, which would be really nice. So let's activate this and point it at the other satellite. Good, so we got a connection set up there now. Which means that if I lose my direct connection to mission control, I'll still be able to use the relay to drive this satellite. If I had signal delay on, that would probably not be ideal, but I'm not using signal delay just because I didn't find it particularly fun, so... So that's not an issue. Well, let's get around to where we need to make our burn and hope we have some kind of control. No electric charge. That's why I need to add more batteries. These things lose their charge during the night. I didn't give them enough battery power to actually make it through. Although, by the time we get up to where we need to maneuver, we should have a clear line of sight with the sun again, so that should be fine. As long as we can actually make a communications connection to something. Oh, good. We actually have a good line of sight to mission control. ComSat does not, so we don't really need that right now. But we'll leave that there, because it may come in handy in the future. 400 meters a second. How long is that going to take? 15 seconds or so. Alright, cool. Well, this mission should go well, at least, which is a really nice change of pace from what I was trying to do with the, let's lock down one of these battery packs in case we need it for something later. Yeah, this mission's going really well, which is a nice change of pace from the spaceplane adventures we were experiencing, which were, I mean, I've crashed more badly than that before. There have been times, but it was very much Kerbal Space Program in that there were a lot of explosions. Adjustment didn't quite go to plan. That's fairly close. We'll get the nodes right next. So when we come around here, we want to move this way. Adjust our orbit like this. No, not like that. Not like that at all. Like this. So the apsises are in the right place. So that's our next orbital correction. I really do like these contracts that they give you in FinePrint. I know I talked about this before when I was doing the other thing to put the satellite up in a really specific orbit. It's just, you know, they're not super complicated missions, generally speaking, but they're just fun little challenges. You know, it's more interesting than a lot of the other options, I guess. I should really go back to the moon and try and do a moon landing, because I should have the technology at this point. Last time I was out at the moon, I just did a flyby, because I didn't yet have technology unlocked that allowed me to build, you know, a proper moon lander to return to Kerbin. So I should really get on that. That'll give me quite a lot of money and science as well if I can pull that off, which I should be able to now, although I need to design a new craft for it. But I really want to get this space plane going. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff to be doing, and then, like, additionally, there's the fact that it's 1 a.m. and I kind of wanted to watch a few episodes of Attack on Titan before I went to sleep, because, I don't know, I started watching Attack on Titan a few nights ago, and it's baller as fuck. So, I don't know how much longer I'm going to stream for, but I've got so much stuff I want to do. Like, drink wine. Which obviously I only do when I'm streaming. You know, I'm not an alcoholic. Much. Probably. As far as you are aware. Man, the Astronomer visual pack, just the planet Kerbin looks really pretty from a distance, especially, you know, with the clouds and stuff. It's real nice. Anyway, let's burn. This one we want to get pretty much spot on if we can. Alright, good. So what's our deviation? Are we close enough to being in the correct orbit? Yes, we're in the correct orbit. All we have to do now is neutralize our controls. Wait a few moments, and the contract will be complete, and I will get money. Money which will fund more spaceplane explosions and the deaths of many crew members. May as well deactivate this engine. I can need that anytime soon. How much money do we get from that? 95,000, good. My spaceplane costs about 50,000 to launch, so with the money I already had, I should have now enough for 2 more spaceplane launches, which is just enough to kill 4 more Kerbals, which is a good number of Kerbals to kill. Really, you just want to kill as many Kerbals as you can, as fast as you can. Oh good, I have enough science points to unlock something. So, what could I unlock that would help me either with a moon lander or with making my spaceplane, a spaceplane instead of, you know, not being able to go to space? Oh man, VTOL engines. I didn't realize one of the parts packs I had installed just had VTOL engines in it. I don't think I want to mess around with that. I'm having enough trouble getting a standard kind of spaceplane going.